Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to look at back escapes and back attacks. So this is going to be, we're going to look at kind of the wrong side back escape. So we would ideally like to always escape towards the side where my partner is under my arm. Okay, but sometimes maybe my partner gets ahead of me and we wind up on the side where my partner's around my head. That can be a slightly more difficult and dangerous escape, and we're going to look at it today. I typically like to go this way to escape instead of going this way. Let's talk about why. First of all, when we do our typical back escape and we're using our body to scrape our partner off, it's much more difficult for me to put my shoulders on the mat because I have to go through this arm. And so just getting out, like there's more stuff in my way and it's more difficult to navigate. The second reason is that there's some danger that we wind up in a head and arm choke as we escape. So even if I begin to scoot out successfully, if Conan decides to bail here to the top, he can actually attack a head and arm choke because of the position that he's holding my harness grip. Do you want to show that real quick? Pop out and come up to the head and arm choke? Yeah, exactly. So escaping to that wrong side where my partner's around my head is both more difficult because the arm's in the way, and a little bit more dangerous. Well, it's dangerous either way, but we run, our escape runs us fairly directly into a submission threat, and so as a result, we should almost always, in my opinion, prefer to escape this way. But undoubtedly, sometimes we will end up with on the wrong side, and it's important that we know how to deal with that. So my preferences for dealing with that, first of all, is if I can catch it early, the best thing to do is actually just bounce to the other side. So if we're seated and Conan tries to knock me over to the wrong side, if I can just put my hand down and bounce us, and use my foot and my hand to bounce us to the correct side, that's actually the kind of our best option. So the best option is if we're able to stop it early, to not go there at all. So if I can, I'll use this outside hand and this outside leg to pop myself back over to the side I prefer to be on. Make sure that when you do that, at least one hand stays really tightly gripping my partner's choking arm. Okay, so if you take both arms off, then obviously your back escape just winds up being you getting choked. Okay, so we should prefer to just go to the other side if that's possible. If that's not possible, though, we're going to take a different approach. Okay, so just like the escape on the other side, I want to start turning my body and I want to start walking up. Okay, and so I want to get as high as I can relative to my partner. And then my bottom hand, right, I'm going to keep holding his arm with both hands. But at this point, once I get higher, I'm going to take my top hand, in elevation terms, I'm going to make a big wave and hug my partner's head. Okay, and I'll attach usually to his lat muscle or to his gi behind him. Okay, and maybe I've gotten over his leg, maybe I have not. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of bridge, and this left leg is going to tuck under my right leg, and I'll turn over into my partner's guard. Okay. Once we get here, be careful about this top arm. If you just try to back out, you can get caught in a pinch arm bar. Okay, so when we back out, you kind of want to do one of two things. You back out, as you back out, you turn your hand palm up, so that as Conan is trying to get that pinch arm bar, my elbow's down and he can't get at me, or I can try and circle my arm over his face to reset to the center. So my partner tips me to the wrong side. As I get tipped, I try to maintain my base, so maintain my hips facing the ceiling, and I'm trying to walk myself up so that I'm higher relative to my partner than when I started. And then I continue to control his wrist with my bottom hand, and I make a big wave to get my arm around their head, and I'm going to hold my partner, either his armpit or his lat muscle or his gi. Okay, I'm going to kind of bridge off of my right leg. Okay, so push here, and this left leg slides under and allows me to turn myself over in my partner's guard. Once I land in the guard, I do have to be a little careful about my right arm, and so as I'm backing out, either I'm going palm up, or I'm going to try and pop my arm over my partner's face to make sure that I don't wind up in that inverted arm lock or pinch arm lock.